Rise by Nemophila just came out, music video and all, and I am really glad to say that I think there's one key reason why this song works even better than similar songs that they've done in the past. So I'm going to unpack that with you right now. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where yes, I'm going to be reviewing Rise by Nemophila, and I'm going to be doing that by comparing it to two previous songs Nemophila released that were probably not my favourites, but were very similar, and showing why Rise is such a massive improvement. But first of all, let's get into talking about why this song is so special. Because before we can even start breaking down what the song structure is here and why it works on a sort of technical level, really I have to say that it's just a big thing to know how far Nemophila have come. This is a band who are genuinely improving and improving and improving, and I know it's such a YouTuber-y thing to just say how great bands are and talk about, oh, aren't they brilliant, aren't they getting better every single song, but this is actually something that really does need to be pointed out. Now, we're always honest on this channel, and I think a lot of people, if you're especially a long-time Nemophila fan, might know and might hate me for the fact that when they first came out, I was a bit iffy on them. I wasn't mad on a lot of their first few songs that came out, and it's partly because of the fact that I just kind of felt like they didn't quite have the ideas, the spark of a band who were creative. They were just really good musicians, and yet the songwriting has come. I am still actually releasing videos from my track-by-track review of Seize the Fate, and wow, that album was just brilliant. It had so many things in it, so many things they were playing with. The real creative spark is there. And so I got to admit, I went into Rise with a slight element of trepidation, hoping that they could really keep hold of that creative energy that they clearly had with Seize the Fate. That it wasn't just one good session, but in fact it was something that was just a sign of a band who are getting better. And I'm starting to get the feeling that, yeah, you know, Nemophila, they are going in the right direction and they're keeping on going. So, let's break down why this song I think is good, because let's face it, a lot of you, especially if you know me, might have expected me to kind of hate this song. And to review this song, to go through the song structure, I'm going to compare it to two previous songs I mentioned. One is Destined, which was a very popular single that I was not so keen on, and the other one is Zen, which I think is the third track from Seize the Fate, and probably my least favourite on that album. See, as a lot of you know, and I know this is a subjective thing, I have complained a few times about I'm not a big fan of the songs where there's a lot of the screechy, shouty, screamo sort of stuff. Not that I don't like that sound, it's just, to be honest, I feel like she's got such an amazing voice. That, to be honest, has never been the stuff that most works for me. And yet, at the same time, my favourite song on Seize the Fate is Enten, which does have quite a lot of the growling, screeching metal vocals in there as well. So it's all about how it's used. Now, when we're looking at Rise, we're looking at a song that uses those sort of rough, growling metal vocals in a really good way. Now, when the song first came in, it immediately comes in with that, and I must admit, I was worried at first, am I gonna like this? Is this just gonna be like Zen, the single? But no. This was a really good song because it started with that, it starts to give you the mood, it starts to give you that grittiness at first, and then it builds up through the melodic singing into a big sung chorus, somewhat like Enten does. I think Enten is still my favourite Nemophila song. Sorry, I love that song so much. But what really works so well here is that unlike Dissension and unlike Zen, for me, Rise has a real sense of urgency. Everything about this song is barreling along. I think sometimes we can overlook this, and I must admit, myself in my previous reviews, I would have done better to have talked about this more as well, which is that on the many things that can make those tropes of heavy metal work, you know, the screeching, sort of growling vocals that are kind of atonal, the double kick drums that kind of muddy the rhythm, one of the things that can really make those work is when they are expressions of a real sense of urgency, when you really feel like there is something passionate being delivered. Yes, as I've said before, you don't want them all the time as well. They need to be accented by having other parts of the song that are different, because if the entire song is double kicks all the way through, then the double kick never feels particularly energetic. If the entire song is screeching, growling vocals all the way through, then when they come in, they don't feel particularly loud or passionate. They just, that's just the level playing field that the song starts from. Here though, you get that power, you get that energy that makes you feel like there's a sort of a passion and urgency and anger behind the song, and then it allows you to go into the sung parts of the song with a feeling of urgency. It means that the big chorus feels a bit more passionate. Those lyrics, which are nicely put up on the screen, feel a little bit more from the heart. Everything feels like it is enhanced by the heaviness of the song. The heaviness is not just there so you can go, dude, this rocks. The heaviness is there so that you can feel like this is a song that really has emotion behind it. And that's kind of one of those things that for me is a sign of a mature band who knows how to write. You know, as I pointed out before, Dissension, it didn't really work for me, and one of the reasons is because I just didn't kind of buy it in the way that I do Rise. It didn't feel quite this passionate, and you know, just this is a band who for me are growing in that sense of maturity, and I love the fact that I can listen to a song like this where usually I would be a bit unsure. It's not my favourite sound for Nemophila, but I can listen to it and go, yeah, I absolutely love what you're doing here, and I feel it, and if you can feel the song, then it's working. Some props as well for the music video. The music video was fairly simple, let's all stand on a white set and rock out kind of thing. When you've got a band who are already like really high energy, then that kind of works. Now, am I correct? It was Tamu who had a baby. When you can rock that well after having a baby, now I've never had to push any human beings out of myself before, but I can only imagine that that's going to be that's not the sort of thing where you're going to want to be dancing around the stage afterwards. But well, Tamu carrying a lot of energy there, the whole band carrying a lot of energy. Love the fact the painter was in there. I don't know who the painter was, but I can't help but feel that the painter is probably someone famous, just from the fact they had them in there as the only other person on there doing the painting. Painting the end kind of looked cool. Nice, you know, it was a good painting. I'm probably going to get shot down for not appreciating art as much as I should, but it was good, it was good. Added a weird kind of extra tone. Video was directed nicely with some good cuts, little basic effects and everything, so it didn't look cheesy, but it had a little bit of energy as well. Again, the video kind of mimics what the song was doing. Simple, but really managed to convey the energy, convey the emotion, get the core feeling across, really kind of come across kinetic and allow the band's whole performance to carry the visual aspect. So in conclusion, well, to be honest, this is just really good. It's, as I say, it's a sign that Nemophila have become much better at being able to get the emotion across to the listener, you know, to do something more than just rock, to actually do something that feels honest, that honesty that can only come from good songwriting. They've gone from a place where I thought the songwriting was probably their weakest thing to a place where songwriting is now up there on a par with their ability to perform, you know, just everything about this feels like a band who are going in the right direction, and I'm so glad to see that. I'm so glad to see how quick they've developed, and I'm also glad to have a band like Nemophila who are getting me listening to songs that maybe on paper I would not steer so much towards. You know, I'm kind of into every genre, but I kind of, you know, this is something that as a sound would not normally be the song that I would usually go for, and yet I can't help but feel that I came away from this really enjoying it and really feeling that Nemophila are on top of their game, and I can't wait to see where they go next. So as always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.